Let's go for open debate tonight. And open debate means, as I introduce my guests, that we agree to disagree. We break into the debate. I'm not going through a first round of questions from everyone, or first, I'm not going with normal introductory round. Let's just go for the debate, right? Do I have everyone's permission on that? Broadly? Okay. Okay, so here's the first question, and it goes to the Congress party, which wants opinion polls banned. By the way, let me at least go through the formal round of introductions here. Piyush Goyal, Atul Kumar Ranjan, Derek O'Brien, Shazia Ilmi, Aryaman Sundaram, Randeep Surjewala, Naresh Gujral, Devesh Chandra Thakur. First question to the Congress party. In 2005, in response to a petition which had been filed in court, Randeep Surjewala, the government said that you cannot ban opinion polls. Right? And it also said that, quote, it would amount to sheer falsehood that the publication of opinion polls would give misleading signals, thereby adversely influencing the exercise of franchise by the voters. In October 2005, you were for opinion polls. In November 2013, you hate opinion polls. You not just you hate it, you want it banned. I mean, where's your consistency, Randeep Surjewala?
Arnab, I was hearing your opening remarks earlier. First of all, I want to clarify for your viewers and you that it is not the Congress party which is seeking to ban opinion polls. If democracy is what you believe in, the Election Commission has asked for opinion of all political parties, including the Indian National Congress. Indian National Congress has given its opinion to the Election Commission of India.
No, so fine, so you don't change your opinion tonight, right? You stay by your opinion.
To ban opinion polls. It wrote to the Government of India. Government of India took opinion of Attorney General. His opinion is on the point which said that yes, EC's opinion should be accepted. However, we said no. So we advised the Election Commission of India to take opinion of all political parties before coming to any conclusion.
Good. So, but I want to understand that doesn't take away from my question. My question is that in 2005, an affidavit on the behalf of the Centre, UPA1, filed by the UPA1's Ministry for Law and Justice, headed by the UPA1's HR Bharadwaj Law Minister, was supporting opinion polls. How does UPA1 and UPA2 have different points of view? Can you please explain this contradiction, Mr. Surjewala?
Arnab, on 6th April 2004, Election Commission called all political parties on the issue. Everybody, including the left, the Congress, the Bharatiya Janata Party, and everybody said, ban opinion polls, ban exit polls.
I have your affidavit. Are you denying your affidavit?
That is a stance that is taken before the Election Commission of India.
You were favoring opinion polls as instruments facilitating voters to arrive, and I quote unquote, arrive at a balanced conclusion. You were saying in 2005 that opinion polls help voters come to a balanced conclusion. You are saying today we want it banned. I mean, please do you first accept on top of Newshour tonight there is a huge difference between these two positions that you have taken, Mr. Surjewala. Then I'm opening this up, by the way, this open debate.
As far as Indian National Congress goes, we expressed our opinion before the Election Commission of India on 6th April 2004, and our stand has been consistent.
No, it's not consistent.
By 2 or 3 facets.
No, it's not consistent.
In 2004, your polls depicted an NDA victory. While the Congress...
No, 1 second. You have...
not the issue whether polls are right or wrong.
No.
We are not discussing the accuracy of the polls. The issue is not about accuracy.
Predicted while the...
No. This is not about... By the way, no, 1 second.
Same happened in 2000.
No.
The debate is not about accuracy of polls.
The debate is about consistency and about democratic right. In 2005, you say it is my democratic right. Let's get Shazia and let's open this up. Shazia, what do you think? There is a change of position. I'm simply trying to understand on the basis of what do you change your position? On the basis of polls not going your way? Shazia.
I think this is, Arnab, I think this is blatant.
Shazia, please.
With due respect
and it's a pathetic admission.
With due respect to you, Shazia, can I just come in and add one line? With your permission.
No, let me say...
Let her complete.
Let me say...
Okay.
Go ahead, sir.
No, you go ahead, Shazia. Let's go ahead. Let's go quickly into the debate. Yes.
Ma'am, you first.
I think not only Congress's position on opinion polls, as has been made clear, is blatantly undemocratic. I think it's a pathetic admission of failure. It is only because they fear defeat, which is why they're opting for this. And I don't think anybody should be swayed. If their premise is that this will affect the elections, this will affect the voters, then they should ban even opinions. Why only opinion polls? There should be no mention of food security bill. There should be no mention of JNNURM. There should be no mention of Manrega. So where will they draw the line? They should also stop all the government advertising. So I think this is blatantly undemocratic, unconstitutional. It's clamping down on liberty of press, and we denounce it.
Actually, we won't have any debate to do anymore, Arnab. Your show should be the first thing to be banned.
Can I come in and again?
Because any opinion which doesn't favor the Congress.
Now that Shazia has made her remarks.
No, this is, you see, sir, I'll tell you, Mr. Surjewala, now this is the history of it. We can't divorce what is happening today from contemporary history. On July 5th, 2004, Mr. Surjewala, please understand this. July 5th, 2004, T.S. Krishnamurthy was Chief Election Commissioner. He wrote to the Prime Minister, and if I'm wrong today, right now you tell me, Arnab, you are totally wrong, you're making up these facts. But I know I'm not. Chief Election Commissioner wanted the point of view on the immediate legislative action in consonance with the EC's view. And the quote of the EC's view was there should be some restriction on publishing the results of opinion in exit polls. After evaluating the recommendations for more than 1 year, the UPA government filed a 9-page detailed response in the court on 13th October 2005, discarding the Election Commission's view by seeking dismissal of the PIL. Sir, what are you doing? You have one position in October 2000. Now you don't expect us to question you. When you are doing this now, you don't expect us to question you what you did earlier. No, let's get everyone in. Let's get Derek also in. By the way, this is open debate. No. Everyone's free to come in. Derek O'Brien.
I'm saying, Arnab, and I waited for Shazia to complete her point.
But there are 5 others. Let's get everyone's view, Randeep, and then I'll come back to you. Okay, you want to make a brief rebut.
Indian National Congress to hold its viewpoint. You are saying just because I hold a particular viewpoint on opinion polls, it's unconstitutional.
Well, I thought it was a Congress government in 2005, or am I wrong?
It is the Election Commission of India authorized with this duty under Article 324.
Sir, this is a Congress government in 2005. Sir, this is a...
They are asking a viewpoint.
But
I've given my viewpoint. Bharatiya Janata Party and others will give theirs.
Mr. Surjewala, please understand the backdrop of this. It was a Congress party government which said opinion polls are fine in 2005. It's a Congress party government in 2013 which says they are motivated, pollsters are tricksters, those who broadcast are motivated, etc., etc. I mean, I am just saying that you are lacking consistency in your argument. Let's get everyone in.
It's not debate between you.
Sir, you are free to come in. Mr. Atul Kumar Ranjan, yes.
Who has to speak and give their viewpoint.
Mr. Ranjan, go ahead. Let's get everyone in.
I just want to say, Arnab, let's be very impartial.
Yes.
It is not a debate between Congress party and Arnab Goswami. The others also have a view to speak. I just want to tell you, that's the point is this. This is a bad thing. My Congress representative is saying there was an understanding in the Election Commission meeting and where all political parties agreed for that. I think this is a wrong thing you are quoting it. The main point is this. What went wrong with you? You were earlier, you want to bifurcate the party and the government. It's a shame thing. Everything the party is doing, you are taking the credit. Where you are doing something wrong, you think that is not up to the mark, you are making responsible party, government to it. I think you are having a double game. It is the fact now you have to tell the people in 2005 you agreed for that. What went wrong? Now you are changing your viewpoint.
What is going on behind closed doors?
Possibly their leader may come on television and say it should be thrown into the sea. After 15 days.
You are using the words and trying to avoid, you are trying to discard, and you are trying to abuse such type of system.
Okay, opening up to debate. By the way, let me say this.
This is the right of the people to know, and the free press has to express its view.
I take in all views except 4 points of view. Devesh Thakur, and Aryaman Sundaram, Derek O'Brien and Naresh Gujral have not spoken yet. No, you have.
I have not.
You have.
Made a passing
we will come back to you. Let's get everyone in completely because we have a full hour to debate this. In 2004, then Attorney General of India, Soli Sorabji, said ban on opinion polls was unconstitutional as it would be, quote-unquote, violative of Article 19(1)(a) of the Constitution. He also said the restrictions sought are, quote, outside the permissible heads of 19(2) concerning the limits of freedom of expression. So, today Soli Sorabji does not matter. Today Vahanvati matters. And tomorrow then somebody else will be Attorney General Derek O'Brien and we'll say Vahanvati does not matter, XYZ of the future matters. I mean, what's this? What is wrong with political parties? Why can't they maintain consistency?
But I thought governments also work in continuity.
1 second. Derek.
What is wrong with the Congress party and why can't they remain consistency? That you'll have to ask the Congress spokesperson. But yesterday I was enjoying watching the Diwali fireworks, Arnav, and now I'm also enjoying this. Actually, Arnav, you should be very happy. Why are you so upset with all this? Because on the 7th of November, you announced that you're coming out with an opinion poll. And today was a light news day, so you've got this very interesting thing, so you should be happy. This is a good build-up to your opinion poll on the 7th. Why are you complaining?
Well, can I give you a historical fact? The historical fact, since you're, I understand your light-hearted comment. In the year of the Lord 2006, Derek O'Brien, right, I had a representative from the Trinamool Congress who said to me, when we put out a poll of polls, right, predicting a left party win when Buddhadev got elected, 2006, you know what the Trinamool representative then said? They said, you are sold out. You're on the payrolls of the left. They said, you're on the payrolls of the left.
Show me the footage.
Show you the
Play
footage.
the footage for me.
Well, of course it is. And not only that, Derek O'Brien, not only that, on the day of the result, the person apologized.
Play the footage.
Call the person. Ask Dinesh Trivedi whether he said it or not. Ask Dinesh Trivedi whether he said it or not. That's it. Now, Derek O'Brien, let's go back to the serious issue. Let's go back to the serious issue. When you don't like
fairness,
no, 1 second.
Today or tomorrow, show
I will send you the footage. Yes.
What has been said.
Come to the point. Listen to this. I think, seriously, the people of India are much more smarter than all of us think they are. They know what is a good newspaper, they know what is a bad newspaper. They know what is a good opinion poll, what is a bad opinion poll. They also know what is a good film review and a bad film review. Just because the Times of India gives Krish 4 on 5, that does not mean Krish will become a blockbuster, Krish 3. People will watch the movie and come to their own conclusions.
What are you doing? Come on to the 1 second. So that actually defeats your argument. 1 second. 1 second. Derek O'Brien, let's get everyone in, please. I said I'll get everyone in. First of all, let's get it.
You can have a dig at my party. I can have a dig at your newspaper.
I'm not having a dig. I like to share uncomfortable facts with political parties, and one of those is that you can right now pick up the phone and ask Dinesh Trivedi whether he said in 2006 or not that you're on the payrolls of the left when we predicted the left will win, and then on the day of the result said yes, I was wrong. The point is this. You throw any insult at journalists and anybody else. But please consider the facts that I am challenging all political parties to tell me tonight whether there's an inconsistency between the point of view of the Attorney General 2004 and now, and inconsistency between the point of view of the government today and that in the court in 2005. You see, let's go into fact. Let's get Aryaman Sundaram in on the inconsistency part. Aryaman Sundaram, where do you stand on this ban?
I'm not going into the consistencies or inconsistencies between two law officers. I'm going pure and simple on the Constitution of India. Arnab, there are two parts, as always will be in any debate, and it is this. Fundamental to a democracy, fundamental to our Constitution, and I think fundamental to any modern mankind, is the right of freedom of expression, which includes a right to disseminate views and a right to accept or not accept any views. And it is fundamental to a democracy, and we are, I'm proud to say, still a democracy. Also fundamental to a democracy is a free and fair election, because without that you don't have a democracy. Now, if there's a case of conflict between the two, that is when an issue will arise. But I really fail to see where there is a conflict. After all, an opinion poll is a poll conducted and results voiced by somebody who has conducted it, stating very clearly what the demographic profile was, who he had taken the poll from, and then disseminating this information. I believe he has a fundamental right to do so. I equally believe that the citizen has a fundamental right to be informed. And I think it works both ways. However, I will add a caveat to it, that if it is found that something is motivated, if it is found that something is based on absolutely zero information, that the poll is nothing but misleading or cheating, then there is a recourse against that. But let's not throw the baby out with the bathwater. After all, freedom of expression is fundamental, and let's safeguard it.
Soli also said you could have restrictions on providing methodology, sample size, all that could be put out. But I just like to remind you, opinion polls started in the year of the Lord, as you say, 1824. So it's something which has been around for 190 years. And just to tell you, in France, in the year 1977, they brought a law in which they tried to ban opinion polls prior to the election. In 97, the press, suo moto, defied the ban and decided to publish opinion polls. It went to court, and the court opined that it is against the freedom, violated Article 10 of the European Convention on Human Rights and protecting freedom of expression. And therefore, France had to once again revert back to allowing opinion polls.
All these arguments here.
So the fact is, opinion polls are just a part of the election process. It's a part of giving information to the public,
Counter coming in from
which they can decimate and understand. I think the voters in India are very smart. They can understand what is right or wrong. They don't need an election commission interference.
Devesh Thakur, very interesting nowadays. Whenever the BJP speaks, the first counter comes from the JDU.
I'd like to add one more thing.
JDU.
Well, it's a freedom of expression for the JDU.
JDU counter to you. JDU counter. Ariman, after the JDU, please. I always like to pair the BJP and the JDU on these issues.
One more thing.
I like to get the JDU in after the BJP and the BJP after the JDU. Yes, Devesh Thakur. At least on this, do you agree with the BJP, or are you disagreeing with them on this as well?
No, I think we have never been inconsistent as far as the ban on opinion polls are concerned. Our leaders have always maintained that these opinion polls, and let me remind you, right from the last 10 years, 8 years that we have been in power, and with the friends of the BJP with us, we have always said that we are not in favor of any opinion polls. Exit polls are okay, but opinion polls we have not been in favor. We do feel they have a tendency to influence the neutral voter maybe, or the voters of the state and the country, and we are in favor of a ban on that. We have not been inconsistent as far as our stand.
No, then what about newspapers, news channels, panel discussions, articles, blogs?
Man, everything.
Then you'll have to stop even campaigning, because in campaigning I may take a particular stand which will influence the voters. And in any case, opinion polls have margin of error, and they have to keep the methodology.
Who's countering, Congress or JDU?
And it's not a BJP versus Congress debate. It is the Election Commission of India which has sought opinion of everybody. Let the Bharatiya Janata Party go and give all these arguments. And they are saying that the Election Commission has no such right. May I take up the argument of Mr. Sundaram and only say this much? Free and fair election is part of the basic structure of this constitution. And the Election Commission, having been vested with a right to conduct and duty to conduct fair elections, can impose reasonable restriction. What is that reasonable restriction can be discussed by Election Commission of India.
Oh, so
what restrictions?
Debate happening here.
Counter from Shazia, please. Shazia's counter, then Naresh Gujral. Sorry to come to you last, Naresh Gujral. Yes.
Now, yes, Mr. Gujral, with your permission, sir. What entails, respectful or restrictions? One wonders about that. Where would you draw the line? Would you ban opinions? Would you ban the agenda-setting function of the newsrooms? Would you ban all government spending? Would you ban all mention of Food Security Act and Aadhaar? Would you mention the usage of the scheme of Sardar Patel statue?
Yeah, what all will you ban?
No,
So no, watch.
I need a minute.
No, can I just go to Naresh? No, can I go to Naresh? No, I feel Mr. Piyush. One second. I feel one second. Don't. I fear today you're not letting Naresh Gujral speak because his position does not agree.
No, that's nothing of that.
I'd like to go to.
Seek his indulgence.
No. You seek my indulgence.
Naresh, one sec.
No, you seek my indulgence. I'll come to you after Naresh. No, I've decided to come to you after Naresh. Allow me. Now, the argument and rationale given here is that these polls can influence voters. First of all, the government says in 2005 it cannot influence voters. In 2013 it says it can influence voters. Now let us assume a scenario, Naresh Gujral, where a newspaper or a news channel breaks a huge news story that goes against the incumbent government. Let's say it does that, right? Will that also influence voters? And because it influences voters, should all, exposés or news channel coverage that can influence voters also be banned before an election? I mean, what all will you ban?
Arnab, a blanket ban is not only totally undemocratic, but is not called for. And I can understand why the Congress party is so discomforted today, because the way the wind is blowing, every single opinion poll that comes shows that they are losing ground rapidly. So I understand their position. But having said that, it is also a fact that the quality and authenticity of opinion polls is sometimes suspect. And I have no hesitation in accepting on the national television that almost every political party has used unfair means sometimes to influence opinion polls.
Mr. Naresh Gujral, no. One sec. First of all, the counter to that is very simple. The counter to that is if a channel gets an opinion poll wrong, Randeep Surjewala, 1 minute. If a channel gets an opinion poll wrong, it will affect the channel. So first, it should not be any of your concern, right? It's between the channel and those two it broadcasts to. The question here is, are they really that bad? I want to share some statistics, Randeep Surjewala, then counter me, and then Derek O'Brien too, who thinks that opinion polls are bad. No. I want to give. By the way, I don't know, but I told 2011, West Bengal projection showed 184 to 192 was the range of one of the pollsters. Vote percentage was 39%. There was 0% deviation, with 184 seats as the actual result and the vote share being 39%. If that's not accurate, I don't know what is. But that's not only West Bengal in 2011. You'll find it interesting that surveys and exit polls in India, let's bust a myth, have had a very respectable success rate when compared to surveys around the globe, Mr. Surjewala. More than 125 assembly and parliamentary elections have happened in India in the last 20 years, right? Of these elections, only 7 or 8 times the polls have picked up a totally wrong number, like 2004 Lok Sabha, 2007 Tamil Nadu, 2012 Punjab. Okay, even among these, not everyone got it wrong, barring the 2004 Lok Sabha elections where everyone predicted NDA is getting more votes. If you look at the projections history of the top 8 polling institutions operating in India, Mr. Surjewala, 95% surveys and exit polls have picked up the trends correctly and projected the correct winner. You understand? But more often than not, everyone picks up the small number of wrong projections to discuss rather than the huge number of accurate polls in India, which happens to be officially the most heterogeneous and difficult society to conduct polls in. So cut some slack, Mr. Surjewala. When you get your numbers right, you also ask about the number of times, did you complain when people said the Congress party would be winning in different states? You didn't. Let's hear your counter.
Arnab, please have, now that you've given figures, please have the patience to have 2 figures. In 2004, your polls reflected NDA 270 to 282.
I've already mentioned that.
181. UPA was given 167, UPA got 218, 50% wrong. In 2009, NDA was predicted to get 195, it got 159. UPA was projected to get 201, it got 262.
No, you have read out what I have said.
In 2012,
you are repeating what I have said.
Congress victory in Punjab.
What
came in.
Is this a debate about accuracy
or
about banning polls?
The Samajwadi Party got romped in.
Mr.
Are we discussing
geography, topography, sample size, scientific nature of
totally.
sample. the fragmentation amongst voters, the number of political parties in fray.
Mr. Surjewala,
that's
people
the truth.
will make their own. People will take their own call. They don't have to go by opinion polls.
Influence voters in some manner or the other.
No, people don't go by opinion polls. I'm sure the electorate in India is wise when even in 77 they chose to remove the Congress, or in 80 to bring it back. Indian electorate votes very sensibly, even though they did not have all the polls at that time. Similarly, it's possible the polls may have influenced them, and they may have thought that we don't want the victory that the polls are showing. So it's possible that there was an impact of the polls. What's wrong with
Atul Kumar Ranjan wants to come in. By the way, I want to say this before we get Mr. Ranjan in. The present survey, the representative sample, okay, which assembly segments, how you weigh this according to the census profile, mention of the margin of error at the state level and at the regional level, along with tracking studies of public opinion, along with the total number of the cumulative sample size of number of interviews over the last 6 months, every single part of the data is acceptable. Mr. Surjewala, if despite all of this, the number is not palatable to you, the result of the survey, the question will be asked to you, are you complaining more about the result than about the process? Atul Kumar Ranjan wanted to counter you there. Atul Kumar Ranjan, please, to the Congress.
No, in a democracy, the political parties have the right to speak. In a democracy, the media, the electronic media, print media, the fourth pillar of Indian democracy has a right to judge the things. All right. But the questioning is to banning the media, banning the opinion poll, banning the exit poll. I think in a democracy, in a vibrant democracy, it is not up to
But why is this happening?
When more and more young people want transparency, more and more.
Well, why is this happening?
That yes, the media has also to... No, just a minute, Arnab. The media has also to play a very positive role and very responsible role. And there are unscrupulous elements also. That has to be taken into care. And I think there should be an authority should be made. If something went wrong, they can watch the thing.
But you know,
there are certain people.
But then this is the problem.
Vested interest also takes
Mr. Ranjan, don't mind it.
Their role.
Don't mind it. But in 2009, when we predicted a Mamta victory, many left leaders said you are on the payrolls of Mamta. Right, in the last 2011 and in 2006 when people predicted the left victory. No, Mr.
This is all wrong. This is all wrong.
Please understand everybody is pleased. You know, they said the truth will be out on the day of the results and all opinion polls will be proven wrong. This is a fact, Mr. Atul Kumar Ranjan. The truth is unpalatable. But the inconvenient truth, Mr. Ranjan, is always the better truth. At least I think so. Should we open up to callers?
Should we open up to callers?
Think that don't you think? Derek, don't you think there are folks inside the media, those who play dirty roles, those who play dirty games, and for them there should be a balance mechanism within the media structure. Or there should be some authority to check such type of thing. You cannot play such a vast majority of the democracy in a fashion what you like.
Sir,
so I think
Watch
I come in with something.
Derek O'Brien.
Yeah, must be there, but there should be also
Atul Kumar Ranjan, there are two counters. Derek O'Brien first, then Aryaman Sundaram, and then callers.
Me also.
1 second. I will. Yes.
Okay.
Derek O'Brien.
I'm not countering to Arnav, I'm not countering today. I'm listening very patiently. There are just 3 quick points. First is, as far as the Trinamool Congress goes, 3 quick points. 1, we believe that the people are smart enough, the housewife is smart enough to make her own decision. Number two, the final call on this, we believe, will be taken by the Election Commission. Whatever is their call, we will respect it. And number 3, there are good opinion polls, there are bad opinion polls. Like in 1948,
have you
heard of somebody called Thomas Dewey? No one's heard of Thomas Dewey, but every opinion poll in the United States said Thomas Dewey was becoming the president, Harry Truman became the president. So I think it's a very nice extracurricular activity. You must enjoy the extracurricular activity.
I'll tell you this. First of all, let's not trivialize what is a fairly detailed pursuit because I can't go. Let this go unrebutted. Kerala 2011. No, I'll send the figures to Derek O'Brien. No. One second. First of all, Derek O'Brien must know Assam 2011, West Bengal 2011, Pondicherry 2011, Tamil Nadu 2011. Kerala 2011. Uttarakhand 2001 minute. Listen to me, Derek. Don't lose patience. Uttar Pradesh 2012, Manipur 2012, Goa 2012, Punjab 2012, Gujarat 2012. If I look at the vote share, Himachal 2012, Andhra Pradesh by-election 2012. If I look at the vote share accuracy, it's over 98%. You can look at this, and by the way, this is not some extracurricular activity. Right? That's all.
Arnab,
No, let's bust that myth that it is some extracurricular activity.
Yes, listen to me.
And
I agree with you.
Is this debate about accuracy of opinion polls or about freedom of speech? You make up your mind. Everybody is talking about accuracy or inaccuracy. The issue is freedom of speech and expression is absolutely, you cannot compromise on that.
We're getting a counter.
Can I come in here?
Let's get all the
freedom of speech is at a higher pedestal than any other freedom. And the only restriction that can be put on that is under Article 19(2), which is sovereignty of India, integrity of India.
Piyush Goyal, 1 minute.
Not the kind of excuses that is being given by the other panelists.
Piyush Goyal, we are getting counters. Ariman Sundaram. Then we are opening up to calls. Yes, please. Callers, please, in a minute.
Arnab, I think it's absolutely shocking what I've been hearing. We are really not before me, after me, please. I think it is absolutely shocking what I'm hearing. What I'm really hearing is there is a chance that there are some bad opinions, there are chances that there are some good opinion polls. Therefore, since there's a chance of a bad opinion poll, let us stop opinion polls altogether. In other words, there's a chance of some people misusing freedom of speech.
We're not saying that.
Chance that others would use it right. Now, in case, let me finish. So in case some people misuse it, let's get rid of freedom of speech. What are we talking about? If somebody misuses it, there is a mechanism by which they will be punished for it. But nobody can say, look at the bad opinion polls, ergo, you have to stop opinion polls, and therefore you must curb the expression.
No, 1 second.
Opinion polls.
1 second. As of now, I would say.
We're not asking you to stop opinion polls.
No. My point
to finish, Arnab.
Okay,
Derek. We're not asking you. Listen, Arnab. Let the panelists counter the panelists. You want to counter every panelist and conduct the debate.
Okay, counter, please. Go ahead.
Listen, it's not countering. I agree with what the gentleman is saying. Who on earth is telling you the Trinamool is asking you to ban opinion polls? We are telling you that let the election...
I wasn't talking about Trinamool. I'm talking of views which have come out.
You're talking about Surjewala's view.
No, but if the election commission also... I'm sorry, election commission is also acting within the constitution. And I am on an issue that there is freedom of expression and no one
as a democratic party have a right to an opinion asked for by the election commission from me. Can you impose your opinion onto the Indian National Congress Party's opinion? No,
we are discussing the basis of each one's opinion here. The question in this debate is each one's opinions are being discussed. Whether those opinions are in public interest or no.
No, 1 second. 1 second. No, this whole...
Commission of India, all political parties' opinions to come to a conclusion.
First caller, let's listen. Okay, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen.
That Congress is trying to impose its opinion. Congress is in fact was very fair when it asked everybody that it asked the Election Commission of India to
Okay, can I have your permission for one thing? Can I have your permission? We've had a very volatile debate so far. Before we move on, I want to put one fact for our viewers. Let's all calm down, and I'm going to take callers. We agreed to take a few callers. You see, in 2004, as we've accepted, I accept 2004, all opinion polls got it wrong. Right? As a journalist, I say we got it wrong, but it is my right. If I have to get it right or wrong, it is my right, and no political party gives me that right. It's my right. The day I became a journalist, I have that right.
Absolutely.
You cannot take that right away from me. And I think every journalist in this country will fight every attempt to break any attempt at freedom of expression.
Journalists left, right and center. Now they said you cannot attack the Prime Minister because he's the Prime Minister of India. But even in the US, after the State of the Union address by the President, the opposition makes a state of the union.
In 2004, all opinion polls got it wrong. Despite that, voters voted for the Congress party.
Of the election commission
There are issues. There are
political parties whether or not a poll
We are
should be banned.
discussing the Congress's view, which believes in muzzling free expression and freedom of speech.
You have the
Consistent
Prime Minister.
Let him speak up. Yes. Now counters. Questions. Our first caller is from...
No, Arnab, I just want to say one thing.
No.
Arnab, one thing I say, that you said in 2004 all the opinion polls were not up to the mark, they went wrong.
Yeah.
All right, they should be pardoned. But something went wrong with a political leader, so he should be punished for that. So I think there should be some sort of, you see, understanding.
So
there should be some logic, all that.
So go and take the...
If something goes wrong, some opinion poll is wrong, some opinion poll is wrong, that the media should apologize for that.
I'll
They should
tell you.
apologize before that they have put a wrong opinion.
And
One second.
That is the beauty of it.
Our caller, first caller is from Indore. The viewer wins.
That will be
The viewer wins. Our first caller is from Indore.
People may draw a wrong conclusion.
Mr. Gyani from Indore, our first caller. What do you think, sir? And do you have a question for anyone? By the way, just switch the audio on your television a little low, because otherwise we won't be able to hear you. Go ahead, Mr. Gyani.
No, I have my question. Whether my right under the Constitution, Article 19(1)(a), is bound with the tyranny of the majority or the political parties or the ruling party, or my right is a constitutional right. We boast of being the largest democracy governed by the Constitution and the rule of law. How can my liberty, after all, opinion is an opinion. It may be out, if it is not acceptable, reject it outright.
Point is taken, Mr. Gyani.
But how can you suppress, how can you operate and in your despotic
Absolutely
tyranny, which is
Mr. Gyani, Aryaman Sundaram is answering that.
How can you, it is not American Constitution,
I would
First
just like to-
Amendment.
I think that's absolutely correct,
The
Arnab.
Congress cannot enact a law which curtails or abridges right of expression, fundamental right of speech and expression.
You see,
And I am referring to...
You see, Mr. Gyani, I took your point. I think Mr. Sundaram agrees with you. I think we are on the same page. I'm moving to the next caller. By the way, the Election Commission is a tribunal. You know, it has the Election Commission members of the status of a Supreme Court judge, but they too must actually look upon the various aspects of this order which they seem to be pushing through, because everyone's a stakeholder. The people watching this program tonight are stakeholders. The people broadcasting this are stakeholders.
Functioning under the Constitution.
Next caller from R.K. Sharma from Delhi. Good evening, Mr. Sharma.
Good evening, Mr. Arnav, and good evening to all the panelists.
Yes, go ahead.
My opinion is, as these polls influence the voting pattern, as the IEC says, so are the netas. They try to influence the electorate voting pattern by their speeches and rallies.
Oh, should we ban rallies as well? Let Mr. Surjewala answer that. Mr. Surjewala, that question to you coming from Delhi, from Mr. R.K. Sharma.
My question is...
No, 1 second. I got your question, Mr. Sharma. We have limited time. Answer the question, Mr. Surjewala.
Sir, with due regards to Shri Sharma, I get his point. The Constitution has free and fair election as its primary edifice, and responsibility for conducting that free and fair election to a neutral body and an independent body, Election Commission of India. Election Commission of India is going into this debate. It is seeking opinion of all political parties. Congress is not imposing its opinion on anybody else. It will hear the opinion of all political parties and come to an
the issue under
appropriate
debate is,
conclusion.
what is your
As far
party's
as Indian
opinion?
National Congress
We are
goes,
not
we have
discussing
said
your
there are
process
road
Election
polls,
Commission is
the
doing.
sample sizes are
The
different,
issue is
the scientific
your party...
nature of polls is not appropriate, and most of the times neither the sample size nor
Mr.
the scientific
Surjewala, the
manner
issue is
used.
not...
That's why they influence voter opinion, and that is why they should be banned.
The issue is not the accuracy of these polls. The issue is that your party consistently, whether it was the emergency in 75, whether it is the order reducing the advertisement space on television channels, whether it is your order that the Prime Minister's speech, that the Prime Minister's speech cannot be...
I think we we are...
players are there?
Where is
How
the
many
sample
people
size
actually
is not
go
the
out to
issue.
vote?
Sir, but when
issue
Whether
is
the poll
trampling
ultimately
freedom
is
of
to end out
speech.
to be correct.
What?
That is
Issue
the
is
only
trampling-
fundamental and primary issue.
Okay,
No,
one-
issue
one-
is
one
trampling
more.
freedom of speech.
Okay.
You are saying Prime Minister's speech also cannot
Shazia,
be criticized.
Shazia,
You are saying
Absolutely
television
not,
cannot
sir.
have more than
Nobody-
12 minutes advertisement.
Congress is
Tomorrow
one
you'll say
party.
newspapers.
Okay, let's get Shazia. Shazia, please, let the lady speak.
Also stands for right of election
Shazia,
to decide appropriately.
Shazia, by the way, wants to have a word in. I think, yes, Shazia.
First of all, a ban is never an answer. Two, the various factors that work, many variables. Opinion poll is one of them. We are questioning right now Congress party's opinion on opinion polls. We're not discussing the accuracy of polls. Just like there's paid media, doesn't mean you can ban media. Just like there is hate speech on internet, you can't ban internet. Just like some planes are used to actually destroy buildings,
Congress party's opinion
you can't ban flying.
Two messages come to me.
They tried to ban Twitter handles.
One second.
Party of the world's largest democracy feels about opinion polls.
I think you should get your facts right.
Two questions come to me. Two.
Incidentally,
No, I
Twitter
must.
handles have been banned by this government.
One
You should
second.
get your facts right.
One second.
And your opinion right too.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Whether or not polls should be banned.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Please go and give
We
your
are
opinion to
questioning your
Election Commission
opinion
of India.
on
There is
opinion
nothing
polls.
like Aam
We've got
Aadmi
it
Party
right. I
versus
think you've got it all
Congress
wrong.
No, you
Yeah,
see,
madam.
one second. A viewer writes to me. A viewer writes to
You've got
me.
it all wrong.
A viewer writes to me. I put my hand up. On news now, unless you put your hand up, it's difficult to get into the debate. I put my hand up. A viewer writes to me, say, if political parties do not fulfill their promises in the manifesto, should the manifesto also be banned? Another viewer writes to me, and this one is actually fantastic. It says, banning opinion polls is like prescribing guillotine for dandruff. I think that's a fantastic one. Banning opinion polls is like prescribing the guillotine for dandruff. A hand goes up, and that hand is of the JDU. Yes, sir, Devesh Thakur. Then the next caller.
Arnav, as of now, the Election Commission has asked the opinion of the political parties on the matter of opinion polls. I think Election Commission is very well within its democratic right to do that. Now, let the political parties reply on that. Let them give their views on that. I think the political parties will be very much within their democratic rights to give a reply.
Arnab, here
No,
the
that's
debate
true.
Let the
is-
Election Commission decide.
The debate is
I
about
want to
different
know-
parties'
I want to
opinions.
know whether-
And the debate is about the
I want to know whether
constitutionality
we are
of this
having a
whole
debate
exercise.
to influence the mind of the Election Commission.
It's not a question of that, it's a constitutional
I
obligation.
want to debate the
Okay, gentlemen.
Freedom of speech is a constitutional obligation
within your this thing to
which
do
cannot
so?
be tampered with. There are
One
innumerable Supreme Court judgments in this.
We have a choice.
Now.
We have a choice tonight.
To the Election Commission.
You know the choice tonight. Which side do we want to belong to? Do we want to be with the US, UK, Scandinavia, Italy, Russia, or do we want to be with China? We have to decide which kind of country we want to be in the way we manage our control our media.
Arabia.
I think one question goes out. Our next caller, last caller tonight. From Navi Mumbai, it's Pradeep. Pradeep, good evening. Do you have a question specifically to someone?
गुड इवनिंग सर एक क्वेश्चन मैं अर्नब से पूछ रहा हूँ
मैं कोई आंसर नहीं दे सकता ये मैं क्वेश्चन होस्ट कर रहा हूँ आंसर क्वेश्चन आप हमारे पैनलिस्ट को पूछिए
नहीं सर मैं आपको पूछ रहा हूँ इसके लिए आप जो भी डिबेट में आप ओनली पॉलिटिशियन को लाते हैं
I got okay so that's why you are on the program Pradeep
यस आप जो भी डिबेट में पॉलिटिशियन को लाते हैं क्यों नहीं लाते जब खानदान का बाबा बैठता है तो गरीब लोग क्यों नहीं डिबेट में बिठाते हैं
okay Pradeep this phone call this line is open to you Newsar is one program which opens itself up to all its viewers and that's why I welcome your participation and we will have more and more citizen interaction. I think that point is taken. Now, I'm totally time up on the debate tonight. But I just want to say...
One point.
Derek wants the last word.
Very important point. No, the very important point is a very big opinion poll has been conducted recently in Calcutta and I'm sure you want to know the statistics. 90% of people in Calcutta want Sachin Tendulkar to score a century in his last test match at the Eden Gardens.
Well, Derek, you're making it too frivolous. Fact is, Arnab, fact is this country is facing an onslaught. Congress They have done it repeatedly. They have tried to muzzle the social media. They have tried to muzzle the media.
It's not so easy.
They have tried to stop media from reporting about the Prime Minister's speech and Mr. Modi's counter to that. On every respect, they have tried to
just one thing.
I think you all have to stand up and the people will give
I think the media knows how to stand up for itself. To all my guests tonight, can opinion polls be banned?
When it's a question posed by none less than a constitutional body like the Election Commission.
Randeep Surjewala and Atul Kumar Ranjan, I thank you all for participating with your diverse views on debate number 1 on the News Hour tonight. Thank you.
Thank you.